Welcome to Shapify Experiences, a media web podcast. Today I have with me Susete Henriques. Susete has been working in IT, particularly in low-code, over 20 years. Welcome, Susete.
Thank you, Nelson. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So Susete, can you tell us a little bit about your experience over these years?
Yeah, let's see, how can I summarize it? So, I have an IT degree in software engineering, but most of my experience, as you said, was in OutSystems. I've been there for almost 21 years. I've joined...
Really at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
You were one of the first employees?
True. I've joined in the very beginning. I was employee number 12 or 15. Okay. I don't remember anymore, but something like that. I was one of the first platform developers, okay. Right? Because when I've joined the very beginning of the professional services department. So I was one of the first developers using the platform.
Okay, great.
And I've been there for almost 20 years, as I said. As the company grew, I grew with it. I went from individual contributor roles to management and leadership roles, mainly managing global teams here in Portugal. Helping building and evolving the local delivery practice, managing resources globally. Well, actually, when I left, I was the global resource management director, and it was a great journey.
Yeah, I believe the OutSystems is one of the unicorns in Portugal. So I believe that over that years, you passed through a lot of things that happened since the low code was not even a word. We were talking before when OutSystems start as a company. I don't know even if that time how OutSystems define itself, but low code term appeared later. I think it was OutSystems itself that created that concept.
Yeah, exactly. In the very beginning, low code didn't exist. So it was, as I said, it was OutSystems that invented and coined this term and created this space in the custom software development industry. So yes, in the very beginning, we wore a lot of hats. Actually, in the projects for the first customers, I did everything. I did project management, I did analysis, I did development, and it was really fun, but challenging, really challenging because, companies were struggling with the difficulty to keep up with the pace that the business was changing and evolving, because the software tools that they use, the traditional software development, traditional methodologies, the process was slow, right? The projects took a long time. It could go from months to years, to almost years, to have an application live. And most of the times with delays. It was not easy to plan and have the application and build as fast as was needed.
And hard to have a predicted time of delivery, right?
Yes, it was. So most of the times the project delayed.
Was delayed.
Yeah. So when OutSystems started and built it, the platform, a low-code platform nowadays, and we went to the customers pitching this new platform, a new company built out of Portugal, and saying that they would be able with the platform to be much faster, building applications not in months or years, but in weeks or months, but not that many. Also pitching a new way of developing projects, because we've always used agile methodologies. It was hard to believe, right? The customers were skeptical. It was hard to believe that they could build software with such a speed and flexibility. Too good to be true. Yes, we had the too good to be true challenge that became widely known, and so yeah, it was not easy.
You needed probably in that time to show for them to believe that was possible.
Absolutely. Of course, we not only pitched it, but we demoed the platform, and they felt it was too good to be true. But eventually, some had the courage to to try it, and they were able to see that it was possible
to prove that they could deliver on time, that they could make it much faster.
Yeah, and as more companies adopted and saw that it was possible to build much faster with cost effectiveness and flexibility. So as more and more did this, more and more companies, so the adoption then became easier, right?
Yeah. You start having cases and other companies that could show that it worked.
Yeah.
So, but OutSystems have the platform itself, and I believe during that time, OutSystems have a lot of different phases. Can you highlight the main difficulties or the main challenges over this time to grow a low-code platform and to always innovate? Actually, I listened something that at the beginning. I think one of the difficulties that I listened about OutSystems was kind of the idea was of the low code was too ahead of a time, and maybe it was one of the first difficulties. How that from the beginning until now, till almost now, you left 1 year,
2 years,
2 years ago,
almost. Yes.
What are the main highlight phases that you could share with us?
So yeah, in the beginning it was the skepticism, right? The too good to be true, not only on the business side, but also from community point of view. The developers, the traditional, the developers on top of traditional tools, they were also skeptical. Why should I move into this new platform? I'm going to lose my skills. I'm going to not be specialized in these traditional tools, where where is the employment, right? Where I am an expert now. So why should I move? This is probably only for toy apps, for very small apps. Yeah. So this was the real big challenge in the beginning. The skepticism, both from an IT and business side, too good to be true, and also on the community side. So being able to bring developers into the platform. Then the platform also evolved, right, and became much more robust, with more support for real enterprise complex applications, supporting applications with high scale performance, security,
the deploys and the
deployments, faster deployments, and all of that. So from a platform point of view, it became a really robust and aligned with the big enterprise, and complex applications development. From a low-code delivery point of view, there was also an evolution, right? From the very beginning, we were really aligned with deliver what the business needed. We've used always an agile methodology, because I think it's the low-code and agile methodologies are complementary, right? With agile, the focus is on the business, on working with the close alignment with the business, doing incremental development, where the users, the business, the end users can see working software every sprint. Every two weeks was the usual duration for our sprints. They collaborate and give feedback that can be incorporated, and we've started also to follow the MVP approach, minimum valuable product. So making sure that in the very beginning with the business, we've identified the minimum set of features that would make sense from a business point of view, and that could go live as soon as possible, anticipating the return on investment, and ensuring that the business would start to have value from the solution that was being built as soon as possible. And then iterate from there, already with feedback from real life experience, right? And eventually it became not only MVP, but an MLP, meaning minimum valuable product, where we would make sense that this minimum set of features that would go live were built with the user in mind, with great user experience, applications that are easy to use, that are intuitive. Well, you know this better than me, right? But this was also an evolution, and it became part of our delivery practice. And it's something that I truly believe it's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I know a little bit about that part. Yes, at some point, OutSystems start incorporating user experience methodologies in the process, right? I think way ahead of the market, at least in enterprise software. I used to say that when product softwares normally give a little more importance to user experience, because they deal with the end users, so they are forced to. But when we are making software to enterprise, it sometimes the ones in front of that companies, they just want the software to do something, and they don't give as much importance to the users. But at the end, it makes totally difference. Make totally difference. And from my when I talk with people that was part of that process, they share with me that after testing, you start incorporating that always, right? All of the projects have always a designer involved that creates that help creating that minimal viable product that became the minimal lovable product. Yeah, that is very important for the success of the.
Yes. We realized very soon that user experience is crucial in the adoption of these enterprise applications also, right? For us, a project was a successful project if it went live on time, on budget, and with 100% adoption.
Yeah.
We were not measuring that, but it was like a mindset for our teams. And yes, we've started to in our professional services teams. We had the user experience practice very early in the process. Because we realized that it was really important. Yes, it's a business application, is an enterprise application, as we call it. But if it simplify the life of these enterprise users,
is users the same?
It's a user, right?
Exactly.
And user experience, it's to simplify the process, their lives. So yeah, we've realized very soon in our journey the importance of user experience, and it became part of our delivery practice, the local delivery practice, in all projects.
The adoption is really a good measure, because, as you're saying, if we deliver on time, if we deliver on budget, but then no one uses, is it completely fail? It was a waste of time.
A waste of time, absolutely. Time and
money. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So having sure that we are making the right software for the right users is essential for the users to decide to adopt, because if the software will help them, they will adopt for sure. They will not ignore a platform that will help their work. It is the opposite. If they will avoid to use it if it's overcomplicated. If don't simplify something, instead of that, they create entropy in the process.
Absolutely. Well, why should I use this if this will make my life worse than before, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly the point. And these are three really important pieces for me. A low-code platform that allows development fast, and change and incorporate feedback fast. Agile methodology with close involvement from end users and business during the project life cycle, seeing the project, giving feedback. Doing acceptance tests, and the user experience being very well designed with user testing, with all the practice for really easy-to-use, intuitive applications to support the business, the innovation needed, and all of that.
Yeah, the MVP, I think is also very, very important, because like if we spend too much time delivering something, and every time the things happen more fast, like if we are 6 months delivering creating a software, maybe during that 6 months the requirements change, or better, after the 6 months, when you give it to users, the users give you feedback, and you realize that you should make it in a different way. So I really think that approach makes totally sense, because you have the minimum that you can give to the users start using and start giving feedback, and then you continue delivering on top of the feedback.
Yeah.
It makes totally sense.
it makes totally sense also from a business point of view, because we are anticipating value out of that application. We are anticipating the return on investment on that application, right? As soon as they can start using it, taking value out of it, whatever it is in their business, in their day-to-day lives and business needs, and then continue to iterate and bring more functionality, more features, evolve it, continue to align it with the business that may change in the meantime.
Yeah, changing it if necessary, but at least you know that you need to change sooner.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, low-code platforms here are
it helps make it faster also.
Much faster, because it's not only about building the first version, it's also about evolving and changing
and
maintaining, and there's where low-code it's really
highlight. You're saying also about the developers. One of the things was the developers that they were thinking, and actually I think this still happens today. Like, okay, there is a low-code platform, but I want to know. I want to have control. I want to do the code by myself. I want to do exactly what I want. You're saying that in the past, but I think it still happened a little bit today in some companies. But I think even today I was seeing a example of the. Like if you think in the past, a software engineer don't do assemble code, it use JavaScript or the .NET or something. So it's already a level of abstraction on top of the machine code. So a low-code platform is just one more level of abstraction on top of that. Like, okay, in a low-code platform, I don't need to know what is the language that is compiled. As in Java, I don't need to know assemble. So I think it's an evolution.
Absolutely, and that's what I love about low-code. Well, as I said, I had a degree in software engineering, so I was a developer in traditional tools. But for me, the joy of developing was not about building the greatest algorithm or more complex algorithm. Was about the value of that application to the business, right? Was understanding the business and really seeing how I could help the business with the software that I was building. So I think that developers with this mindset where they take the joy, it's actually on solving problems and not on building the most exciting algorithm. It's there, but where the value is to solve problems are the ones that
bring value,
and are the ones that are more comfortable in doing this shift, because with the low code they can spend most of their time on that side, understanding the business and solving the problem, because the platform gives them that ability and to do it really fast. Because it gives them that abstraction.
And still that is, if it will be necessary, a complex algorithm in a local platform, it's still possible to make that complex algorithm there. But in a traditional way, you need to make that complex algorithm, but you still need to deal with all of the other little things that take you a lot of time and don't bring value. Like I need to deal with every single thing about authentication, about security, about all of that little things that don't bring value to that. That should be a standard. Like the authentication is something that enterprise software need to have. So it should be ready to use, configured for my case, my roles, etc. But should not spend so much time on that part.
Absolutely. You're talking to my heart, and it's exactly what OutSystems did and how it evolved, right? Yes, all of those complexities are built in, when you build an application, yes, you can build complex enterprise applications with OutSystems. You can address complex business problems and build the complex algorithms with all of those extra needs built out of the box. So the applications that you build are applications with good performance, with good quality from a code point of view, with security incorporated, with scaling giving by the platform out of the box. So a lot of those non-functional requirements are given out of the box from the platform. So yes, you have time and you can focus on the business, requirement, on the business side.
The things that the software that we are trying to, the problem that we are trying to solve. One of other big parts of the delivery software is the team itself. And in OutSystems, OutSystems have the platform itself, but you also have professional teams that deliver software using the tool. In this space, what are the main challenges that during all of these years you face about managing teams, maybe hiring, how to find the right talent, the process of delivering, how the team work? What can you share about this?
Well, I can share a lot because it was actually what I did, because as I said, I was always in the professional services department. Again, the very beginning, the challenge was finding people that would be interested to do this shift. We were always looking for people that had this side of the business, that liked to understand the business and solve problems. Yes, we needed good developers because the platform abstracts a lot of things. But for this real complex enterprise application, we need to have careful architectures designed on top of the platform. So at least we needed to have someone that understands that part. So the technical lead, the solution architect, it's very important. But again, always looking for people that were fast learners and that liked that part of the business side. So we always had, maybe I'm already thinking from the latest years. So in the latest years, a team composition in a project always had what we called an engagement manager that was the project manager, so ensuring the on time and on budget delivery, and also the business analyst, the one that were more responsible for the business, the functional side of the project, right? Interacting with the business users, learning about the business, prioritizing the functionalities together with the customer teams, identifying that MVP that will then be built. The technical lead, and also then a technical lead. There is the architect of the solution, the one responsible for the technical part of the solution, the quality, the non-functional requirements, and all of that. Are always aligned. So the architecture was always aligned with the business, right? And then we also had user experience, the team, and user experience.
Designer, and maybe a front-end developer.
Exactly. Front-end developer to build the first prototype with the inputs from the user experience designer. We honestly, we tried a lot to have front-end development skills in all our developers, but it was not easy. So yes, we had a smaller team with front-end team developers that ensured the design was
translated
correctly, translated in a way that could also evolve. Right?
Just a parenthesis about that, because we do a lot of front-end develop, and you're saying that you try to instead of need to have a specific front-end developer, the developers have front-end skills, and it seems it should be like that. I believe if every developer have front-end skills, then they don't need to pass to other person a particular part of the system. I have my opinion, but I want to listen yours. What feedback you have from the developers about that? Why that didn't work?
They didn't have that mindset. They build the functional part. Well, not all of them, of course, but they build the functional part of the application, the logic, and the screens. But then going into the details, the design details, that awareness is something that is not for everyone.
It's not natural for everyone.
No, it's not. You could look into a design work, and then the translated the application, the page. And you could see something is missing. Even myself, sometimes I could not really see what was missing. So yeah, there's people with that. I
used to say that, and in MediaWeb we sometimes make these in our process of hiring, because we noticed that sometimes it's easy to hire a designer and teach him CSS and teach him front end, then the opposite, that hiring a software engineer and ask him to make front end. Front end. When I'm saying about front end, I'm talking more about the CSS styles. The JavaScript is necessary a little bit also to make the front end, but at some point JavaScript became logic also. But the visual part is too much through the design side, and Yeah, the engineers are more like a logic brain, more like how things work, how to make the database, the architecture, the integrations, and then when I need to create some CSS to align some element on the right of the page, and it start being something that they assume that they don't like to do it most of the times.
True. Most of the times you just said, that's not what I know, and I don't like. Sometimes they just say that I don't like which may or not be true, right? But yes, we tried that. The platform also evolved, allowing the creation of better experience in design pages easier out of the box. And in my dreams, the platform would do more and more that work. But for some specific projects where user experience and design was a bit more complex and how should I say, more important,
more challenging,
challenging. We had that front end team.
Needed to have a specific. And of course it will depend on design. But one thing is the user experience, other thing is the UI. I believe sometimes the UI is complex, and then if the UI is complex, it means that it is necessary the front-end guy to make the right CSS, or maybe there is some specific things on top of each other, something like that. But the user experience not necessarily need a complex UI. It can be something very simple that maybe OutSystems UI already provide, and the user experience might be a good experience with the standard UI, for example.
And probably for most of the enterprise business applications, standard could be enough, but there are some specific cases where...
Yeah, of course, they need to be adapted to the brand at least have the main colors, have they should identify the brand. But the standards help also in for the users, because the users are used to standards. So if you create something completely new, the users don't know how to use it.
The principles of user experience and design. Yes, absolutely. So this was the basic composition of a team: the engagement manager, technical lead, the developers, user experience, design, and the front-end developers. That's how we evolved. With also the creation of teams more focused on the DevOps for those big complex applications, supporting the customer in the full life cycle, in the technical debt resolution of of their application portfolio, how to create better architectures to support a big application portfolio. Already thinking real enterprise-wise, we started to have these DevOps profiles, platform operations experts, architects. It was fun and quite an experience going from being a developer that did almost everything in the project to having more and more complex applications and teams with this composition to really support the customer in all aspects of the the delivery life cycle.
When you're saying now about that big projects in DevOps, etc., I was thinking it probably happened a lot. At least I know some OutSystems factories that have so many applications that at some point for sure they have multiple teams creating multiple applications for the same client, and I found difficult to have alignment between one thing is to have that composition of one theme. Other thing is to have three themes with the same composition, but then they are creating something different, but for the same client. So they should be aligned with each other also. This is a challenge that you face. Did you notice how to make this alignment between these teams?
Yeah, we started to have some customers that started to have those challenges. That's where good architecture principles were important.
There in the architecture, I can understand exactly that can be, and I'm like we are doing more about user experience in style guide. I include in the architecture the design system or the style guide, the style guide that gives the foundation. Is a little bit different, but I think is related. Like if you have multiple teams creating multiple things, if you don't have a good foundation in terms of architecture, even if that architecture defines database structures, integrations, authentication, etc., or if has foundational design of the components, the style guide.
Governance, that's what I was missing.
Okay.
Good governance practices on how to create the application architectures, how to good practices for the go live of those applications, how to have these teams communicating with each other. So governance on top of this portfolio and in these teams, it's
it helped them making a line and working the same way.
Yeah, basically. exactly.
Okay. And how about the future? How you think these kind of platforms, OutSystems, or these kind of low-code platforms are? How do you think is the future of software development?
Yes. With AI, right?
AI now is
AI everywhere, even on toothbrushes. Can you believe?
True.
So yes, AI will for sure revolutionize and also transform these type of platforms, low code. Like everything else, I don't know exactly how. I don't know.
No one I think knows.
And I don't know also what's being thought and done already. I know about OutSystems that launched the OutSystems AI Mentor, where applications can be built out of a requirements document. This is super impressive, right? So but I see that AI will be very important for the way that or be used to having these platforms accelerating even more the development with even a higher level of abstraction, with a better support from the very beginning to develop robust applications with good quality, with the performance, scalability, security. We're already there, but it's taking it even to another level where maybe technical debt is avoided, or AI will help automatize the technical debt resolution, if not avoiding it and having self-healing applications. I know this is already sci-fi, right? Having these applications even easier to use from a development point of view, and bring it to the citizen developer.
More accessible to everyone to create.
So having business users using their business expertise and transform it to build applications. To some of them may go live, others may be just prototypes where they try the idea, they mature the ideas, and then they pass them along to the IT that will evolve and take it live. So it can also simplify the communication between IT and in the business with I don't know. These platforms with AI may also allow the creation of applications that are even easier to use, that are intelligent applications that adapt to the user needs, with a better support to automatize the processes. Again, user experience, and where you are the experts. And I know that MediaWeb is already experimenting some AI to build better user experience. So these platforms can also support these.
Can have the good practices inside
the platform, out of the box.
The system. This is the future, but actually it's some part of the present already, right? Like with the low-code platform, we could already make software fast. Just for example, I remember the scaffolding of OutSystems, that we just drag a table and you have a list and a editable form for that table. But now you don't need even to drag a table or create the table. You just need to say in the requirements that I want to manage something. You need even to say what are the fields. You just say the name of the thing, and the AI will generate or suggest what are the fields, and then you can review. So it's already the present is already
the future,
kind of the future, and make it even harder to think what's
coming next.
Exactly what come next. But these AI tools about generating code, they exist in our days also outside of low code. What do you think is still the advantage of the low code with AI comparing to the traditional software development?
That's true. The AI agents already building codes, and I think that low-code platforms will also always be an advantage, because they orchestrate all of this. It's not only about building software fast, it's about building software that will then be maintainable and evolving that software, and having the performance, the scalability, the security also out of the box. It's about supporting the full life cycle, the maintenance. So I think this is where the low-code platforms will always be an advantage.
Because with AI you can generate code, and then you can use AI to edit the code. But then the code gets complex, and maybe at some point you need to go to change things in the code, and then it's hard to do that manually. And in a low-code platform, you still have the low-code platform to help you be more agile, making that changes, that
making the
evolution.
changes, having different people working on that code, understanding the code,
understanding the code,
and being able to change it instead of being attached to the person that did it, that did the change, and that knows how to do it.
And then other person look and don't understand what that does. And then the low code is more visual, it's more easy to understand the flow of the logic, and etc.
So yes, for sure, these platforms will be there, will still be there with great advantages.
I believe so. I believe so. I think it's a good takeaway from our episode. Thank you, Susete, for being here and to sharing with us your experience. So today we talk since the experience from Susete, since the developer to managing global teams delivering software in OutSystems, how OutSystems evolved since the time that low-code name didn't exist and make the standard of the market until how to the process of delivering good enterprise software, and a little bit about the future, how AI is revolutionizing the software industry. Thank you for listening, guys, and subscribe to know more about these topics. Thank you.